So that store where you wear a red shirt and beige pants, I was in there one day, and I was tweeting, where the hell is windshield fluid? Because I suspected it would be, I suspected it would be in grocery. It turns out no. It's in automotive, which I guess makes sense, don't laugh at me. But in my head I was thinking, well, I buy at grocery stores, so that's where it would be, is over there with the, Ritz flip things. And it wasn't, and so I tweeted this because I couldn't find it. And interestingly, someone said, oh, it's an automotive. And it was an employee of said store from some other part of the tundra. And that was helpful. See, so when one thinks of how one shall use social media, perhaps one should think, first and foremost, not I have a presence, how will I be helpful? Because gosh, helpful trumps so much of marketing. Listening, and by the way, if you want the simplest, fastest tutorial on listening, or that I've written, because I'm sure other people have too, Google the phrase, grow bigger ears, and I've set it up for you. So you can just go, put the stuff together. That's the free tools and or some links to some of the new tools. Listening gives you the opportunity to do what Marcel LeBreche calls listening at the point of need. One example I'll give you is the Roger Schmidt Hotel in New York. People who've read the book or people who've heard me speak more than once ever know that I talk about this a lot. But the reason is it's just such an easy example. And the only part I wish I could do is tell you how much money they made since they started doing this, because I'm not allowed to. No. What they did was, I was on Twitter and I asked the question, hey, where do the cool kids stay in New York these days? And the first person who answered was Chris Keefe, and he said the Roger Schmidt Hotel. Second person was Brett Petersell from Mashable, and he said the Roger Schmidt Hotel. And the third person was the Roger Schmidt Hotel. And they said, you ought to come by, we've got a good bloggers rate. So my long-standing joke on this is I had no idea. I was like, wow, bloggers rate? That's so cool. And I didn't realize that if you said I love ice cubes, they had an ice cube rate as well. Just say whatever, and they're like, yeah, we've got one for that. It's the same number. But when I got there, they were like, yeah, we were listening on Twitter, and it was cool to hear that you were asking around, and it was nice that people recommended us. We'd love to have you come by. They didn't know me very well. I mean, they were in Twitter, so they were in my court. But then they said, by the way, we have this kind of nice bar. If you want to throw a little tweet up or something, we'll buy the first round of drinks. Wow, nothing says love like liquor. So I said, sure, whatever. And I threw a little tweet up, and about 14 or 16 people came. And they treated us wonderfully. The minute you're treated nice anywhere, that's your place, right? I mean, this is not magic. And yet, this is not what we think of when we think of business and ROI.